Good evening. Tonight, Gaza on the brink of an invasion. 2 weeks after a deadly surprise attack by Hamas, Israel stands ready to send in troops on the ground. Soldiers and tanks are amassed along the border, awaiting for word to strike. The Israeli military says ahead of the ground offensive, it is intensifying air attacks, which already have been pounding Gaza since the start of the war. In Egypt, Arab leaders met today to call for a ceasefire and a peace summit to end this brutal conflict. Thousands are dead on both sides. Among the victims in Gaza, at least 16 UN workers and nearly 24 journalists. The brutality of this war has spawned protests around the world. Today in London, tens of thousands marched in support of the Palestinian cause. Meanwhile, today, Egypt briefly allowed just 20 trucks into Gaza carrying food, medicine, and water, but no fuel was allowed. The UN is hoping a second convoy of relief trucks will be allowed in on Sunday. CBS's Chris Livesay is in Cairo with the latest.
Civilians in Gaza have been paying the price since Hamas's barbaric attack on Israeli civilians. More than 500,000 people surviving on UN aid, cut off from food, water, and medical supplies, to the fury of Palestinians, including U.S. passport holders like Layla Basiso, who feels abandoned by President Biden.
For America to do this to us, a strongest country, to leave their citizens here and not help them, that's a big problem. They should have done like the possible to help us to get out of here.
Speaking to CBS News, she and her family are at the border with Egypt, where after 2 weeks of an Israeli blockade, aid is finally coming in, but at a trickle. Only 20 trucks for now, compared to the hundreds that entered daily before the latest conflict. In response to the bloodshed, the Arab world has been ablaze in protest, demonstrators denouncing Israel and America for supporting it with billions in military aid. The rage even in Cairo, a city notorious for the 2011 mass protests of Tahrir Square, the epicenter of the Arab Spring, followed by a brutal police crackdown. For the past decade, demonstrations in Egypt have been banned. Now, they're encouraged.
This is the first time they've even allowed protests in Tahrir Square since the Arab Spring.
Fury over the deaths of innocent Palestinians and fear of a mass influx of refugees into Egypt, where security forces could be overwhelmed by a human stampede, says former Egyptian lawmaker and Israel expert Ahmad Gad.
You have two choices. Number one, to try to prevent them and shoot them.
And shoot them?
Yeah. In order to prevent them, you must to use arms.
Could Egypt do that?
No. This is one choice. I think it's impossible. The second choice, that Egypt can allow for them to enter for temporary.
Just ask countries like Jordan, Lebanon, and Syria about the millions of Palestinian refugees who've been living there for decades in temporary camps turned permanent. And Adriana, now the question is, with that gate to Gaza cracked open, not just about the aid that will come in, but if people will begin to come out.
That is a major question. Thank you.